So I'll go here, Terraform and it is done. And I'll look at the resource groups. Okay, all over done. Clear the screen. Terraform validate. Terraform FMT. Okay, I just formatted that to alignment. And then I did Terraform and okay. So let's understand if we are getting any errors. It's going and deploying what? It's going and deploying a network because we said create one machine. And then it is going to what do you say, create a machine, is it here, and it is create a vnet. So one mistake which I have done here is I was just checking it out that I left the count here as still var.count one itself. I should change it to var.count.vms. So everything is going to get created under this resource group called photoscan rg. So we have a vnet. The vnet should have 4 subnets within it. That is what is the picture saying, right? Comparison subnet, comparison, box SN, photoscan SN, ID SN, and that is 0, 1, 2. 0, 1 is done. Next one, next is we didn't mention this one. We mentioned to create a jump box. Photoscan RG. So let's understand. Deployment is completed. We have a win jump box. Standard DS1 of a Windows machine. Okay, now this. So yeah, so we are able to find out what is a jump box Windows, and it is of 0. So based on that, we'll keep getting. We are able to find the NIC. We are able to find the disk, and this is being should be in the subnet jump box subnet. So the available IPs is 250 because already in that subnet we have the machine got assigned into that subnet. If I go into the networking and I can actually see the networking details, there we have VNet and which dump box, which subnet it is done. If we wanted 4, we can create 4. So here, count of VMs, I just mentioned it is this. So we can, even this can be passed as a where file end of the day. So let's understand creating another VNet. Box is done, so I'll create one more VNet. But this time when we are creating a VNet, not going to make any of the changes like the way we have done previously. We'll just copy this module. We'll just pass this one via network, and then VNet and mentioned it in which resource group we'll do it, but we'll do it in a different resource group. So I'll open this and I'll mention I will mention here the resource group name, same thing, but in a different region so that I can have many cores when I'm creating different VMs in different things. Just a second, while I'm creating VMs, I wanted to check whether they're having spot instances in those regions. Okay, there is spot instances. This good part is GS2. So I'll go to resource groups. I'll create the resource group in that region. I'll mention here that data here that is done. So I go into this VNet and I'll say not photo scan but here. Okay, so that name will be coming here and the VNet name is here and the address space will become address space 10.1.0.0/16 because the previous it should not overlap with the previous /16 means it is booking all these things just as an FII, so we have control over changing anything between this means 10 to 255 we have the control and 0 to 255. So in that already 0 has been booked by this, so I'm just taking 1 and now the subnet name is a VR subnet. Okay, this is done, which will create me a VNet and how interesting it is, how easy it is. So if you would have seen previously, it would have been a very tough time for us to do all this. But right now, if you see Terraform plan Aviar VNet module, okay, we have to install this module Terraform init. Here I mentioned this one, or did I get to know that when I was reading the error? Let's wait for the deployment to start, and that's refreshing the state here. There you go. There were no changes. So they're just in terms of the configuration level, that won't be an issue with us. Now let's understand here. mm, Module VNet and then the subnet. So I'm creating the subnet and this virtual network. We create it. Apply hyphen auto approve. Meanwhile, I'll go here. So this is good in good shape. I'll take WinVM because here also we have a machine which I have to do. So let me keep it as Windows VM itself. Via control. Uh, I see this is more of an image, and that image is used uh, to create multiple nodes, virtual machine scale set nodes, I believe. Mm, okay, I can create a Windows VM in this one also, right? So let me do that. So I'll go here, WinVMTF. I'll say not Jumpbox VM this time, but a photo scan. These guys also mentioned there is a type of protocol and this is photo scan. Interesting. I go to the WinVM and I say this one as photo scan WinVM and I say photo scan name itself because that is within that one, but the name of the prefix is photo scan VM. Count of VMs and here uh, can scheduler. here I can mention everything except this one, jump box. Instead of that subnet, should be under the scan SN subnet. So I go here vnet and I copy this, that it gets deployed in that. Clear the screen, then I do a Terraform plan again. There is because I have to install this module, Terraform init. Now I do Terraform plan. To add, one is network interface card and one is machine. But when I'm creating these machines, I believe I am choosing spot instances here. Terraform apply so that I can start doing something else. Meanwhile, this deployment gets completed. What will we do next? We have to do the VNet peering of this both networks, right? So I might end up tomorrow having multiple networks because I just created network module. So I'll create a module called peering. New file, new folder, peering. And under that, I'll create main.tf and now I'll create one more file called peering.tf. But before that, I have to mention, copy this, and paste it here. And here, I'm going to say VNet1 name, VNet2 name, so that I have to do peering, I have to know the RG name. Yeah, default is equals to in IAM RG. Okay, this is done peering. So how do I do a VNet? What is VNet peering? VNet peering is something where we connect two different virtual networks. Terraform, Azure, RM, VNet peering. So connecting two different VNets is called peering, and we have to in different regions. So this will become a global peering. So if I look at it, Azure RM virtual network peering, and there it is. I have to create two peering between peering. So one a link between VNet1 to VNet2 and one link between VNet2 VNet1, 2 to 1 and all that. Okay. So for global VNet peering, because this is a local VNet peering, same region but within different locations, how do we do this? So then here, if we look at it, Now comes this one. Uh, Azure RM virtual network peering, and then this peering can create length equals dot location. Okay, how many uh, times you have to go and create it. I'm creating only one, say length dot location. I should go and create two times. Uh, okay. Important part is this. So one for each one. I'm giving count here. Name. So this thing should come here, right? So there should be a prefix. Okay, prefix is not needed. Bring to uh, uh, bring to this one. So what could that be? A .tf vnet name. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, we have to think about it. Let's leave it, park it aside here. Come up with naming convention with naming reference. Then comes resource ID. So resource, I just copy this. I paste it here. Source Terrawin RG. This is not RG win, right? Terra RG. And here I'm going to say RG. And the RG name here is var.rg name. Var.rg name is nothing but this one is Terrawin RG. So I can, when I'm calling this module, I can give that name. So I'm not worried about this. So this is, but it is data dot Azure RM resource group. Then this is what name. This peering should be created. Uh, under dynamically. Okay. Okay. This is Terra RG, VNet1 RG. So that I don't get confused here end of the day. Data VNet2 RG. VNet1 RG. And this one by its element here Source group name. I don't want anything at this point. Data dot Azure resource group terravnet dot rg dot name. That is the resource group name when I'm going. So it is vnet1, say vnet2. And then again, this one also same. Uh, I have to give the virtual network name and then the remote virtual network ID. Allow network access. Load forward traffic. Allow must be set to false for VNet global peering. Okay, so I do the same thing. This time, this is VNet2RG because that resource group name, and I have to come up with this. So let me go and resolve this one. So VNet2RG, VNet2, this one. So to give here VNet1 RG name, VNet2 RG name, and let me remove this. Here I'm going to say this is done. Here this is VNet1 RG name, VNet2 RG name. VNet1 name. VNet1. Okay, so when I wanted to call this module, what should I pass? If I pass a VNet name, would it be sufficient to get the data of the VNets? No. So I should also create one more network.def to pull the data of a virtual network. So data sources, I have to look for virtual network, Azure RM virtual network. To get the data of this, what should I use? This one. So we'll look into this output later on. So this is first one is for VNet one. Next one is Terra VNet 2. The name of it is resource group name var dot VNet 1 var dot VNet 2 name var dot VNet 2 RG name. Okay, sorry. This is one. That is two. Now this is referencing is done. So I will have this one to be called peering. The name is var dot VNet 1 name. Similarly, here it is var dot VNet 2 name. And remote virtual IT, that is where this comes. Data dot Azure RM virtual network 2.id. Similarly here, it is vnet1 id. And this resolves. Now we have to resolve the naming convention. The naming convention here is var dot vnet1 name var dot vnet2 name. So I'll use this to call here this vnet peering module peer photoscan vnet and avia vnet. The source of the module, and what is that module? It's peering, right? Vnet peering. But what are the variables which are being should be called? This should these things should be called, right? This is vnet2 rg name and vnet2 name. So what is the vnet uh, name here? Vnet1 rg name is this peering photo scan to this one. So vnet2 will be via vnet, and the this one photo scan this will rg1 for vnet1 will be this. So and the vnet name here is module dot vnet name module dot avia vnet dot vnet name. Okay, so let's do Terraform validate here. Clear the screen first. Module is not yet installed, so I'll do Terraform init. And the duplicated resource, if I go into this peering, I named both as peering 1 to 2 and peering 2 to 1. Here I can name 2. Okay, this is good. So then I do Terraform validate. Let's understand the errors which I have encountered. Unit1 name only after apply. So you can't use that. I couldn't able to call here the name. In this case, we'll start using var.df here. Why? I don't want to keep calling every time and I have to keep changing, right? Instead, I'll say variable. Okay, no need to pass the values, right? So I'll close this. This is where I can start using local, right? Locals. And I'll come up with, because this is, I wanted to use this one, photoscan vnet name equals, and here avr vnet name equals. Next time I'll start referring just this one, local dot photoscan vnet, local dot avr vnet. Now I'll start saying the same way. Hope you're understanding where I have to use, because variable I don't need to go for right now input, right? So I'll do Terraform validate. No, data example network IC is not declared. This is coming in the network.tf because the referencing issue where comes in place. So peering.tf and yeah, take care. Take care. So photoscan vnet, and so I have to look at this one and I have to understand from vnet peering modules, vnet peering network.tf. There it is. So here I was referencing this one. So let me remove this at this point of time. So this is done. I'll do Terraform fmt, Terraform apply. So what it has to do now, it has to create it's already having VMs everything in place. Now these two VNets which are being created, they have to be paired. So the peering is what we get the data. We'll pair these two networks. There we go. We have one VNet peering. Okay, the machine is also will be created, it seems. Not getting into that right now. Net peering, but okay, let me create. Yes. Okay. So I have this, have this. So it's going to create, what it is going to create from now what we have done. We created this VNet, we created the subnets, we created a sum box. We are asking it to create photoscan scheduler. It's going to create, then it created as a VNet this one, and it is going and doing a peering for both of this. This is done. Now we have Azure Key Vault here, and we have public IP address here. So we can go and choose this. But if you wanted, I can take this session for tomorrow, or if you wanted me to continue, I can go and continue here. So I'll do Key Vault. Why will I keep Key Vault here? So that when the VMs are getting provisioned this time, they take the credentials from the Azure Key Vault instead of me hard coding it. If you look at the machine.tf modules, when they are getting provisioned, they're using this default username and password, which is not recommended. So I'll create, so there is an issue here, unable to uh, the computer name. Okay, so while creating this name for the able to assume this is coming inside the machine. Okay, so that is sometimes you get this kind of error. So here, what I have to do to reduce next time this kind of errors. Here, when I go with compute where name, mm, scan VM. So let me close all this and let me open here WinVM. We mentioned a scheduler. Thought it, thought about this photo scan schedule scheduler. Yeah, and this should be good. So by default, if there is any issue, that will be tainted. But I believe the machine didn't get created till the peering was been done. So I have to reduce always the name. I mentioned PS scheduler, which is photo scan scheduler. It's going and destroying something, which is this VM, which was created incorrectly, and it's going to be replaced and it's going to be created in a proper way. Would you like to have the key vault discussion going further right now, or you wanted it to go for tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay, I'll take the key vault and the public IP address tomorrow. So can ensure that the jump boxes are the only ones connected to be available for public IP address. I'll do that. So I'll create a bastion service end of the day so that we can log in into this one. So it's kind of we are playing with Azure, but it is also that we are achieving the entire feat using modules. That's the whole purpose of this scenario. Yeah, we'll just go and try it because uh, as we keep going, I won't be even when you're going for a revising for a course and all that in future. I won't be repeating this scenario probably because I for coming up with new scenarios every time in a course. So this will be a different course, and this I try to post this in the YouTube so that you can refer it in the future reference whenever it is needed. But as of now, please try practicing it. This is done, so let me go and check box this one. Then this is photo scan scheduler, and then we have Terra photo scan VNet. Now similarly we have Aviar VNet, and if I go into this VNets and if I look at the peering, should have the peering link established between this. It has been established. Next time I can create VNets and I can start using just modules to call those. You see if I just and was calling resource groups, no variables, but modules, VNets and one module peering and then VMs. So it's very convenient one. Once you go with modules, you complete modules. Next time, whenever I wanted to replicate this infrastructure multiple times in multiple scenarios, or I wanted to onboard VNet or onboard different types of servers different based on machines, just makes my job so easy to handle it based on the situation it is. Yeah, that's about